Welcome back, fans and friends, for this next two videos that we will be covering, because I did last week the Fords. So I think it's not really fair, but I'll do what I want. And these next two videos are going to be Plymouth Vehicles, which is obviously a brand of Chrysler, now FCA, now Stellantis. However, they don't use the Plymouth branding anymore, it's just something else. So obviously in this video, I will be covering the 1969 Plymouth Barracuda 440. Our release 72 this year, and the 26th casting of this vehicle. It does look really nice. The only thing that once again I will constantly bring up is you can see the wheels kind of squeezed there, no side rear view mirrors, and I do believe the inlets are a little bit off center. I will be, when I take it out of the package, we'll see that. But the package in that modernized M2's layout, this one actually doesn't look bad. They've done something unique here where they actually put the fish for Barracuda on the box, as well as Plymouth there. You can see, so from the front you can see Plymouth 3 times, in case you forget what the make is. There's 8 plus 9600 pieces of this, and it's the 440 CUDA, so that would have been the version of the Formula S, but the next year, telling people this is the top trim level, but missing apparently power steering and front disc brakes in order to accommodate the really large 440 engine. So what that means is you basically paid more to get the largest engine of the time for a small car like this one, which is in the same class as the earlier Ford Mustangs. They call it the pony class, rather than the full-size muscle car like a Dodge Charger or Plymouth GTX, Gran Torino, midsize, that sort of thing. So there we have it, taken out of the package. There's the Plymouth in the back tray, and we can just leave it in the back. There is the glass, nice and shiny and clear. They finally are more regularly putting these stickers in the right spot. We can see the hood is a little bit open. I will be taking the car out though, to get a better look at it. Nice and clear hood, not like that Mustang with the funny brownish color. And as you can see, everything is nice and shiny. I don't see any missing drilled bits. I don't see any chips. Nice and even inserts. The lights are even. So I'm hoping this closes, but it does not. So this one will obviously then require repairs. So as you all know, if you remove the doors, not remove the doors, but if you loosen the screws for the doors, and this one happens to open evenly on both sides, so that's good. It doesn't want to stay out. So I guess I will start with the engine, and there you can see the 440, perhaps the Super Commando version of this engine. Nice and shiny in 3 tone, so you have the black, orange, and silver. The base is the similar silver to the wheel wells just on the side there, and as you can see, nice and plain, very well done. The support struts, so what they've done here is they've pulled a green light where the left one is not painted, but the right one is painted, and it looks like to me that they're in fact a different size. So that is just another major failing on the quality of M2. Like, look at the size of the left one and then the right one, and that might be why it's not closing. So this may never be able to close, which is a disappointment. So anyway, I will have to get around that. So file it down or something. The doors can be shut. There's a little bit of an overhang there that is present on both sides, so that's another disappointment. There's no way to tell if the car, unless you look really closely, and if you're looking for it as well. But everything here seems to be glued on. They have printed CUDA with the apostrophe and the 440, nice and plainly. You have Plymouth right on the back there. Easy to read, although a little bit small. And on the license plate, you have 1969. I always say how good that is when they do it. You have the rear there. Everything is nice and shiny. And just to the other side, we have the gas cap painted over an imprint for the stamping. You have the turn signals there, indicating lights as well. We have the 440 and the CUDA, again, nice and easily readable and well printed. And so just the major defect of this appears to be hood related. It's just how wide that is. But without wasting too much more time, I will take it off its base. And so I have taken off the vehicle. The base, I will leave it upside down so I don't dump the screws all over the floor. But everything here seems to be nice and plainly written. So we have the FCA USL licensing 2022, trademarks and everything else, 1969. It actually is, yeah, Plymouth Barracuda, so they don't just use the Cuda like on the box, it's this whole thing Barracuda. We have, as you all fans and friends know, the 2 screws for the mounting and then the single screw with the pin on the base to separate the 2. You can see pretty good detail. The gas tank is there, everything else here, the body frame. For the vehicle, 2022 Castlines made in China, and there's its number. And there's the M2. We have everything else covered. Just, I guess, now the wheels, and I'll do the roll test. So as you can see, that little defect there is kind of a disappointment. But other than that, like, it is actually a serious disappointment. You're going to look at this car and say, oh, well, what the hell? So, I mean, and, oh man, this is wobbly too. That's not good. So I might actually have to glue that back in place. It's actually coming out, so I will have to stop playing around. I will give it the roll test. And as you can see, there is some serious wobble. And it doesn't want to roll. So again, they did a really good job with that Ford GT Mustang, and then an okay job with the Mercury from before, but then this one. And as you can see there, the wheels, the Redline tires are not quite even, and I think none of them are. And you can see some extra rubber on this side too. Oh, I apologize. This one tire here, no, this appears to be okay. It's not as bad as the others, but still not good. So while I do not hate this, it appears to have been done where some things were done okay, and then other things like this hood here and the bumper wants to fall off, so there's that. So maybe take a closer look before it's take it off the shelves, and obviously I pointed out that the 2 inlets are not aligned, so if that can be fixed, I will have to take a look at it. Oh, there you go. You can just twist them. It gets better, it's not perfect, and as you can see here, they're not aligned either. So I think they're not aligned because this is not the same size. I will have to file that down and then repaint it. So all in all, I give this a B minus maybe. Just annoying. Like, but it's fixable. The stuff is fixable, but you pay $10 for this, and it just has issues. Where the previous 2 vehicles I didn't have these issues. They had other issues. So with that in mind, and the car doesn't roll very well. So perhaps when I try to fix it, if I can see, and you can see the wheels here, they've done a really poor job. So with that in mind, fans and friends, I bring this video to a close. Like I said, a B, not a really good mark for this, especially if you pay like $10, $11 for them. I do like the car, I just don't like how it happens to be done so poorly. Just be aware when you take them off the shelves. So with that, this is Thomas from Toronto. Thank you guys and girls for watching, and till the next video.